From colossal devices designed to save the world, to mind-expanding, world-shrinking machines. The evolution of mainframes, mice, and menus. Now, computers on Modern Marvels. It has revolutionized the way we work, play, travel, and communicate. It touches almost every part of our lives. It has already helped win wars, solve seemingly insoluble problems, and launch us into space.
The age of computing hasn't even begun yet. We're still in the dark ages.
There's not going to be a clear distinction between human intelligence and machine intelligence as we go through this century.
Most people today know what a personal computer is, and even something about its operation. Essentially, there are input devices, such as a mouse or keyboard, the brains of the machine, the CPU or central processing unit, and output devices, such as a monitor or printer. On the inside, the computer makes its magic by performing millions of little calculations per second. Basically, its electronic circuits have only two options. They can be switched on, or they can be switched off. In binary code, a 1 represents on. A 0 represents off. Therefore, a 1 in binary is also true, and 0 is false. Through these values, we get binary logic, which allows the computer to compute. A binary code of 1s and 0s is all the computer knows and uses to make calculations and turn normal people into authors, animators, and web surfers. The computer creates its magic by the speed at which it can calculate. Your average PC makes 100 million calculations a second, but that's nothing compared to some of today's industrial machines. This is Lawrence Livermore National Laboratories, home of the fastest supercomputer in the world. The Department of Energy's Accelerated Strategic Computing Initiative, ASCII White.
We took, as our building block for these large ASCII machines, the typical IBM workstation that you could go down and buy from anybody. And we put 8,000 of these together to create a computer that was much, much faster than anything that was available. The ASCII White machine has a speed of 12 trillion mathematical operations per second. And to break that down, the Earth's population is a little over 6 billion. So every man, woman, and child on the face of the Earth would have to add 2,000 numbers in 1 second to keep up with that machine.
Like a Silicon Sentinel, the ASCII White is devoted to the service of the country. Lawrence Livermore National Laboratories is responsible for ensuring the safety and performance of the nation's nuclear weapons. In 1992, President George Bush banned underground nuclear testing. That makes evaluating the arsenal very difficult. Now, the laboratory has turned to supercomputers to run simulations to determine the integrity of the aging weapons.
If you think about a nuclear weapon and all of its components, you begin to understand how difficult that process would be. We have to be able to simulate every part of it, and we have to be able to simulate the processes and physics that take place within it.
These simulations are so complicated, even at 12 trillion calculations a second, it could take weeks to complete a test. The computer also has the power to model molecules. This helps scientists design experiments before going into the lab and understand what the results will likely be.
The most effective way to get information from the computer into the human mind is by a visual display. Very fine detail.